Oh, camera, please don't fall. So for those of you who do not pay attention to my YouTube channel at all, you will not know that I am a massive Sly Cooper fan. And I have been a fan of the Sly Cooper series for at least over 18 years now, which is quite a chunkable portion of my life. I have beat every single Sly Cooper game. I have 100% complete every single Sly Cooper game, aside from Sly 3. I've also obtained the Platinum Trophy on every single Sly Cooper game. Again, apart from Sly 3. It is in my top 5 favourite things in this universe. Although sadly, due to Sly Cooper being quite an underrated series, there is not a lot of merchandise for it. The only piece of Sly Cooper merchandise, and official Sly Cooper merchandise that I own, is the Sly Cooper comic. I am extremely lucky to own this because it has shot up in rarity since I've had it. I bought this a couple years ago being like 8 years ago, and I believe I paid like £30 for it, which is really good in consideration to now. When I look on eBay for listings of this thing, it is at least over £100, and that's not even including shipping, because for some reason all of them ship from the US, and I don't remember this being shipped from the US, this one anyway, that I've got. That being the only bit of Sly Cooper merch I have, there is also another bit of Sly Cooper merch that I've been after for years, and that is the Sly Cooper Funko Pop. When it first originally dropped, I was looking to get it, but for some reason I just put it off. I don't know why, and I really regret it now because the pop is super rare, especially if you live in the UK or outside of the US. It is really, really hard to get the Sly Cooper Funko Pop for a reasonable price. When I've had a look at eBay listings, it goes for at least over £70, and that's not even including shipping. All of them are shipped from international countries such as the USA, and that just makes it so much more expensive than it needs to be. I had a friend recently who went to Comic-Con and saw the Funko Pop for £75 there, which is just an unbelievable number for a video game series which isn't even really that popular, but for some reason the pop has just shot up in rarity, and I don't know if it's just because it was a Funko exclusive and it was just a normal exclusive, or it was released in America only, which makes it even more difficult to get in the UK, which is why it's so expensive. So for that reason, I put off getting the pop altogether, until now. I was just looking through Instagram and I follow a shop in my local area called Nerdbase. Pretty much anything nerdy or geeky you can imagine, they will sell it there. They also accept trade-ins, which is where people bring their old stuff in, such as Funko Pops, and they sell it to Nerdbase, and then Nerdbase resell it. And they usually post on Instagram the hauls they get from people who have sold there. Well, somebody did a trade-in today of loads of pops, like at least over 50 Funko Pops, and among those Funko Pops was a Sly Cooper one. To say I formally lost my shit would be an understatement. You know, I haven't just been looking for this Funko Pop for the last like 2-3 years since it's been out, but now just feels like my chance. It's a bit late now in the UK to go grab it, it being literally 7:45 in the evening, and most shops shut at around 5-6 PM, including Nerdbase, so they won't open again until 9 AM tomorrow. This has been on my mind all evening, this Funko Pop being available in this shop that is literally 15 minutes away from me, and I've been looking for this pop for years. I just scared my cat. She's looking at me like, what the actual fuck? She's like, what is going on? To say that I'm determined is an understatement. I am so willing to get this pop, it's insane. Although, as willing as I am to cop the pop, excuse the rhyme, I do have my boundaries. I will not pay over £50 for it, which I know is a little bit tight considering on eBay it is sold for like £70-80. At cons it's being like £75, so it is probably going to be just as expensive at Nerdbase. But I've set myself a budget. If it is under £50 or £50 or under, it is a indefinite cop. I will buy that thing. But if it's over, I'm gonna have to do a little bit of negotiating, I think. So the plan is, I'll get there tomorrow morning, hope it's still there. I have messaged Nerdbase on their Instagram account, but I don't think they'll get back to me because it's now past their trading hours and all the staff have gone home, so I doubt they'll get back to my message tonight. But regardless, I'm going to be going there tomorrow anyway. I'm just going to need all the luck I can get. I'll be so happy and lucky if I can get this pop for a price that isn't too extortionate. So we're just going to have to wait and see. Good morning everyone. It is the next day and it is currently 9:30 a.m. Nerd Base opens at 10 a.m. I've been thinking about this all morning and I've been talking to my mum about it. Even my mum knows how much I want this pop because I've been going on about it, and even she knows that one of the first games I ever played when I got my first PS2 was Sly Cooper, so this means a lot to me. So I've now upped my price margin. Last night I was saying if he was over £50 I would not pay for him. Now I'm like 60 or below, I will get him. Maybe I'll push to 65, but if he's in the 70s, I won't do it. Although it will not be a total wasted trip, because there is a Spyro and a Sparxxy available as well, and I've been looking to get a Spyro and a Sparxxy for a really long time, and I know that that won't go as quick as the Sly Coopers, so I am also going to look into getting the Spyro and Sparxxy too. So if I don't get the Sly Cooper, I will get the Spyro and Sparxxy. I won't get both, I'll get one or the other. I'm not trying to break the bank today, but we're just going to have to wait and see what they have, if it's still there. I did message them last night, as I said last night, but I still not received a response, so I probably won't. When I looked at the Instagram post, somebody had already asked how much the Sly Cooper was, so I'm clearly not the only person with my eyes on it. I'm so nervous, but let's drive over there. It is about a 15-minute drive, if that. I live very close to it, so we're gonna drive over there, and hopefully we can cop a Sly Cooper. It will make my week if that is the case, but I don't know. I'm not having my hopes too high for this. Alright, one swift drive later and I'm here at Nerd Base with 20 minutes to spare. Yeah, I'm here very early. I was making it here in very good time until I got stuck behind a Fiat 500 doing 50 on a 70, which you can imagine made me very happy. And it wouldn't even be that bad, you know, if the Fiat 500 was in the left-hand lane, but it wasn't. It was in the right-hand lane, which is the fast lane, and it wasn't going fast in the fast lane. Anyway, I'm gonna walk up there at around 5 minutes to 10 minutes to. Don't really know what else to say from here, apart from I'm not gonna film when I go in because that's very awkward. I'm not gonna vlog while I'm in there. I might get a recording of me purchasing it, or asking for it, but I don't know. We'll have to see. I can't make any promises. I'm very awkward with filming in public now. Like, even just sat in this car park in my own car, I feel so awkward just talking to the camera. That's how long it's been since I've last filmed anything or recorded a YouTube video. So this feels just very uncomfortable for me. I suppose I'm just gonna wait this out, have a look on Twitter, and then at 10 minutes to, I'm gonna walk over there and see what's going on. You can also tell that the UK is back to itself because look at that, that is raindrops on my windshield. It is raining. It's literally July, summertime. The sun is out and it's a nice day, and it's very humid out, but it's raining, and it was raining all the way up here. So yeah, UK weather as usual, behaving itself. Decided to exit my car and start walking over there, and it's so windy out and I can't tell if it's jacket weather or not. That is literally what it's like summertime in the UK. Is it jacket weather or is it t-shirt weather?
A few moments later.
Okay, I don't know if you can tell from the smile on my face, but oh shit, I nearly dropped him. I managed to get him. Literally, when I got there, there was already a few people waiting outside, and I was like, oh no, like literally there was at least 8 people waiting out, and it was just getting more and more and more as time was going on. They opened about 3 minutes earlier than they usually would, and everybody just come crowding in. And the very first thing I said to the guy opening the door was, I see that you got a Sly Cooper Pop, whereabouts is he? And he was like, oh, he's on a table at the back of the store, which is where everybody was going, and they were all crowding round, and I was at the back of the crowd because I'm too polite to move people out the way. And then I saw him sitting at the end of the table, and I just reached over and I grabbed him, saw the £40 price tag, nearly fell over thinking he'd be worth way more. But let's get this bad boy home and celebrate. I'm so happy right now, honestly. I cannot explain to you how happy I am. This has made my entire week. I've finally gotten a Sly Cooper Pop, and I only paid £40 for him, thinking it was going to be way more. I'm a happy bunny. Let's get this boy home and put him in a proper protector. He is in a protector, but we're going to put him on a proper one and have a look at him. Now I'm about to drive home. Priorities, of course. Make sure my boy is strapped in. Not that I drive crazy enough for this to happen anyway, but look at that. Safety first. Okay, so it is about 8 hours later. I had to go to work, but it's still the same day, but it's just now the evening time. You know, no longer wearing the hair in the braids. I've pulled them out, I've got my work uniform on, and yeah, I just thought I'd finish off this video. So I did film this segment earlier on in the day when it was actually daytime, but for some reason when I went to go put the file on my editor, it corrupted, which reminds me of the great joys of video editing when things just corrupt for no reason. I am so lucky to have been able to get my hands on a Sly Cooper Funko, honestly. I feel incredibly lucky because they are just so hard to cop in the UK, as I've said in previous segments. I don't really remember what I've said because it's been about 8-9 hours since then, but I did film some shots of the Funko, and yes, I did unbox it, and the reason that I unboxed it is because I plan on keeping this Funko for the foreseeable future, considering I've spent so much time looking for one and finally got one. The details on the Funko are insane, such as the paint job looks amazing. There are no like mistakes, if that makes sense. Some Funkos I do have, as you can see in the background here, I do have quite a few Funkos now, and there are some over here as well. Some of the paint job on them just looks a little bit shoddy and sometimes a bit rushed in a weird way, but this Funko Pop looks amazing. I love all the detail on his mask, and the fact that his backpack is on his back gives me the impression that this is the Sly from Sly 1 and based off of his model, which means a lot more to me because Sly 1 is my favourite game of all time, up there as one of my favourite games of all time, and is my favourite Sly Cooper title, so that just makes it even more sentimental to me if this pop is based around Sly from Sly 1, because in other Sly games his backpack for some reason is on his leg. He has like a leg pouch rather than a backpack, whereas in Sly 1 it is a backpack. I did put him back in his box after. He's literally just resting over here on my, you can't see him, but he's over there now, and that's where he's going to be for the foreseeable future, but I am going to keep him in his box. I've also put him in an acrylic case as well. Oh, rather than make life difficult for myself, here he is. I've put him in one of these acrylic cases, therefore he's a little bit more protected in here. I found that with my other Funko Pops, where we've had quite a few hot summers, and last summer was a really hot one, for some reason some of my Funko Pop boxes have kind of changed in shape, and they're like an odd shape, almost as if they've like warped, but my Funko Pops that have been in these acrylic cases have kept their perfect mint condition shape, so that's why as well I've decided to pop him in one of these cases instead. The case could do with a bit of a clean, it's a bit greasy, but the inside is clean, that's all that matters. I already feel like I'm gonna get comments saying that I destroyed the resale value of him because I took him out of the box just to get those shots, but honestly I don't care about resale value because I don't plan on reselling him. I plan on keeping him before anybody again leaves a comment like, you've just ruined the value of this pop just for some shots. Yes, and I really don't give a shit. Anyway guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. It is a little bit different from the usual content I would make, but I felt like making a video on this guy and obtaining him and finding out that he was around and everything, and just this entire 24 hours of obtaining this guy, I just feel like it was worth having a video made over it. Any chance to get my hands on official licensed PlayStation merch, especially if it is Sly Cooper merch, deserves a video in my opinion. If you did enjoy the video, please do leave a like, I would really appreciate it. It's just nice to see you guys' feedback on my content, and subscribe because I do post Sly Cooper content when I can, if I can be more creative about it, because it's kind of hard to make content on a game series that isn't really alive at the moment, but I suppose in a way it kind of feels like we're keeping it alive if we continue to make content around it. It kind of keeps the community alive, because although the series is a little bit dead, the community is not. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you in my next video.